Welcome to the Rattler Booster Kickoff. I'm Joe Bullitt, and we've got 2 hours of entertainment for you. But most of all, we got all of the information on how you can help the Rattler Boosters to help all of our athletic programs. Without further delay, singing America the Beautiful, the voice of choice, one voice, Fred Lee. Welcome the president of the Rattler Booster Board. To welcome us, Mr. Selvin Cobb.
Good evening, Rattlers. I am Selvin Cobb, the president of the Rattler Boosters Board of Directors. On behalf of our life members and our annual dues paying members, we would like to thank you for attending this virtual program. On behalf of our committee chair, Johnny C., we have put together a great program highlighting FAMU sports and interviews with our coaches. But there are two things I would like for you to do. One, sit back and enjoy the program. Two, there are going to be points in the program where we're going to ask you for your donations and for membership of the Rattler Boosters organization. Thanks for your participation.
Good morning, fellow Rattlers. I'm Reverend Al Williams, and I'm here to start off our campaign for our boosters with Florida A&M University. Let us pray. Father God, we thank you for the Rattler Nation. We thank you for all the administration. We thank you for the students, the alumni, the boosters, and everyone make up the body. God, we pray that you will continue to bless this university, that we may be able to do the things for the generations to come that you've set in order. God, we ask you to strengthen us, give us the mind, the willpower, and the funds to do things that we have not been able to do in the past. We know that your blessing will continue to shine upon Florida A&M University, who sits on the highest of 7 hills. God, let your power continue to ring from on high. We give you the honor, we give you the praise and the glory. In the precious name of Jesus, we pray. Amen. All right, my Rattler brothers, I want to challenge all the clergy. We're looking for every clergy across the nation to donate, and I want to challenge all of you to a $1,000 donation. Let's get it started, 2021.
Please welcome our Vice President and Director of Athletics, Mr. Courtney Gaucher.
Greetings, Rattlers. Courtney Gaucher, Vice President and Director of Athletics here at Florida A&M. We are really excited about this opportunity to engage you and facilitate additional support to our athletic program. 2020 was a bittersweet year with a lot of challenges in front of us. However, our priority and our focus remain the same: to develop a first-class student athlete experience. We're really excited about what 2020 will hold. Season football tickets are on sale now. Make sure that you get yours. And we are very hopeful that we will be in a place to fill Bragg Memorial Stadium in a safe and healthy manner. Don't be left out. But most importantly, the student athlete experience is what we're here to talk about today. We need your support more than ever right now to facilitate the much needed nutritional needs, scholarship support, and additional needs to support a Division I athletics program. So please help me and join our favorite Rattlers with generating revenue to support our athletic program and the young men and women that we serve here at Florida A&M. From the bottom of my heart and the entire Department of Athletics, we would like to personally thank each and every one of our boosters and donors who have supported our program in the past and in the future. We couldn't do it without you. Again, please help us strike from the top and take our program to unprecedented heights. Without your support, without your commitment, we could not do it. Again, thank you from the bottom of our hearts, and we appreciate your support in our program.
Hey, come on here and put that mic in my face. I am a Rattler fan. I'm all the way from Virginia Beach, Virginia, doing it big for these Rattlers. The comeback of the 100, that's why I'm here. You feel me? She ain't gonna say nothing. I got this. It's the comeback, baby.
Who's gonna win the game today?
The Kings of, who you think?
Who's gonna win the battle today?
The Rattlers, baby.
Rattlers.
Bam, you all the way. And it makes them so bad. It's hot out here. And they still gonna do their thing. They can be cold, raining. We gonna do our thing. Bottom line, love me some Rattlers. Don't wanna get bit by one, but I love me some Rattlers.
Good job, bring them in to get beat. Good job, bring them in to get beat. If they're going to lose today, good job. We didn't have a police escort to bring them in to lose.
Who you represent, sir?
Bethune-Cookman University.
What brings you out to the class today?
I'm here every year, ever since I graduated. I'm here every year.
Who's going to win the game today?
Bethune-Cookman, that's obvious. 2 + 2 = 4 every day.
Now, you got on fam gear and she got on Bethune gear.
Yeah.
Which one of y'all sell the most?
Me. No, me. I sell the most. She wish.
Who's going to win the game today?
That's right.
Slow Smoking Barbecue, Lake City, Florida. All the way live, baby. They got a lot of grills out here, but I'm telling you one thing, this is the best grill that we got. They got dudes on speed over there in Georgia, but we come straight out the woods. All the way. And we only like 40-some miles from fans. So we bringing fan barbecue to them. They wouldn't come to us in our backyard, so we'll come to them in their front yard.
Look at this my head cook, man. He got the meat, man.
Representing the Rattler Boosters, please welcome Colonel Joe.
Good afternoon, Rattlers. It's a pleasure for me to be here today on behalf of the Rattler Boosters to ask you to give to Florida A&M University Athletic Program. Our athletes are, first of all, students, and we refer to them as student athletes. But it is only through the gifts that you and we give that we are able to fund their academics. We ask you, if you have companies or corporations that you can refer to the athletic department, do so that we can ask them to help us to fund the educational and athletic needs of our athletes. It is the tickets that you buy that make us able to have the kind of financial success that we will need to be able to have the kind of university that we need as an HBCU, one that has the other things, the other ingredients that make FAMU the awesome university that it is. The band, the football, and the awesome academics that you get as a result of going to this wonderful place that we all know and love and call FAMU. Let's give to FAMU. Let's give to FAMU Athletics Department. You can use PayPal. The information is on the screen, or you can send us a check, and you can find the information to mail that check also on the screen. Go Rattlers!
At this time, up for auction is item number 1. At this time, up for auction is item number 2. At this time, up for auction is item number 3. We always see them on the sideline, but we never get to know their names. We never get to really know who they are. But for the first time, let's meet some of the members of FAMU cheerleaders.
Greetings, I am Amon Baker, a second-year pre-physical therapy student from Tallahassee, Florida.
Greetings, I am Jalea Williams, a second-year pre-pharmacy student from Boston, Massachusetts.
Greetings, I am Nairia Hunt, a third-year bio-pre-med student from Panama City, Florida.
Greetings, I am Kayla McKinney, a third-year broadcast journalism student from Atlanta, Georgia.
Greetings, my name is Kayla Priester, and I am a second-year broadcast journalism scholar from St. Petersburg, Florida.
Greetings, I am Alicia Good, a second-year criminal justice student from PG County, Maryland.
Greetings, I am Naila Clarington, a second-year pre-physical therapy major from Atlanta, Georgia.
F-A-M-U, hey! And shake your stuff. Get up, and you get crunk, Come on, Rattlers, and shake your stuff. Get up, and you get crunk, F-A-M-U, hey! And shake your stuff. Get up, and you get crunk, Come on, Rattlers, and shake your stuff.
Please welcome the 12th president of Florida A&M University, Dr. Larry Robinson.
Thank you, President Selvin Cobb, Colonel Ronald Joe, and the Rattler Boosters for this opportunity to speak with you today, really to thank you and hopefully inspire you to do even more, not because of our gluttony, but because of the growing needs of our athletic program and the new challenges we currently face. No one could have anticipated the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic on the world and every aspect of our operations at Florida A&M University, but we are here. While with the development of vaccines, we can now see some light ahead, we're not yet totally in the clear. And the pain will likely persist beyond the cure to the virus itself because many have lost their lives due to this pandemic. But like you, the Rattlers have faced this plague head on and found a way to operate in this challenging environment. Rattlers all over the world were disappointed that we didn't have a 2020 football season or homecoming or a Florida Blue Florida Classic. Hopefully, all of that excitement will return this fall with the return of the Orange Blossom Classic. Maybe, as they say, absence will make the heart grow fonder, or in this case, the venom will be more potent and your support even greater. Of course, our expectations are high, but your support has helped us recruit outstanding coaches, produce outstanding teams, recruit outstanding student athletes, and renovate landmark athletic facilities on this campus. Thank you for all of that. All of Rattler Nation is with you as we execute this year's motto, leave no doubt. Let the world know that Rattlers support Rattlers. I even heard somewhere in the Southwestern Athletic Conference that there are coaches running around with pizza boxes trying to raise money. We can do better than that, Rattler. I do look forward to the fall and hope that this pandemic will be behind us. Rattlers are poised to strike. I definitely am looking forward to the fall with the hopes that indeed this panic will be behind us. So we ask you to be more generous than ever so we can work through this new normal. If you're eligible to get the vaccine, please do so. I did, and we need your support in all of our athletic programs to be successful. And to be successful, we all need to be in good health. Get vaccinated when the time comes. Finally, we have so much to be proud of as we move forward and execute excellence with caring in support of our student athletes. Rattler Boosters, thank you for what you do for Florida A&M University, and let me encourage you to keep striking from the top.
We are headed to the SWAC, and they have no idea what they're in for. The sound of excellence, the precision. Let's watch a preview of what we missed so much in 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, the Florida A&M University Marching Band.
Hello, my name is Dr. Shelby Chipman, and I serve as Director of Bands at Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University here in Tallahassee, Florida. And also, I serve in the capacity of Florida Music Educators Association President-elect. Here at Florida A&M University, we're very pleased to have the opportunity to work through these very uncertain times as it relates to COVID-19. In the midst of COVID-19, we have prepared ourselves with the university in practicing social distancing, types of rehearsals within the scope of the Incomparable Marching 100. We're meeting 2 days a week and working on some of the music fundamentals as well as marching fundamentals. We're ensuring our students are very safe in how they move about doing the rehearsals, as well as encouraging them following the rehearsals to also practice those type of social distancing activities. We provided our students with masks as well as bought all of our students individual music stands. And we recently purchased 500 of the bell covers to, again, distract from the aerosols and particles that might be displayed in some of the, from some of the instruments. One of the main things that our health department as well as administration have encouraged us to do is to make sure that the social distancing takes place within the 6 feet formula as well as 9 feet formula, indoors and even outdoors. And the other things that we have employed into our system is making sure that the students know the importance of how they would need to move about during our various rehearsals.
Let's sit down and talk with the man who runs the sideline at Bragg Stadium, head coach Willie Simmons.
All right, Rattler fans, we are here with head coach Willie Simmons. I am Vaughn Wilson, and in the sense of security for our head coach and myself, we're going to socially distance, so I will be off camera and Coach will be on. Coach, welcome to the Rattler Boosters Kickoff 2021 virtual edition.
It's a pleasure to be on, Vaughn.
Coach, we're going to start back first in these two segments. We're going to start talking about the 2019 season, your second season with the Rattlers. You got a veteran at quarterback, and the team just seemed to click. After that first game at UCF, it just seemed like the team hit stride.
Yeah, they did. You know, obviously starting out the gate with one of the top teams in America, UCF, was a challenging task. You know, we had a few guys that weren't able to play that first game. And so we really didn't go down with a loaded deck, you know, and we took it on the chin. But the one thing I can say about that bunch was that they were very resilient, you know. So we came back that next day, you know, we watched the film, and we made them understand that, you know, a lot of the plays UCF made were us, you know, not doing what we were supposed to do. And so it really gave the guys a sense of ownership, you know, it really showed them what accountability looks like. And I think that moment taught us that if we were going to be a very good football team, that everyone had to do their part. You know, and so after that week, we came together and started a 9-game streak where we played some very, very stiff competition, played some games that came down to the wire, and our guys found ways to get it done. And so we found ourselves, you know, leading the nation in rankings, you know, being number one in the nation for much of the season. And again, just a lot of positive momentum until obviously we, you know, didn't close it out the way that we wanted to, you know, in the Florida Classic. But again, all in all, great season. You know, 9-2, best record in HBCU football. Depending on who you ask, you know, the HBCU national champions, and just set a foundation for this program to continue our upward trajectory to be the premier HBCU in FCS football.
Coach, a big part of what you've tried to do is rekindle the spirit here on the Hill, and that was seen no more in the next man up mentality that you've brought in the North Carolina A&T game. You know, FAMU all-time leading passer Ryan Stanley went down, and Rashawn McKay came in and helped seal the deal. Just talk about that mentality and the growth of the team that you saw in year 2.
No question about it. One of the things that we felt as a staff it would take to build a great football program is to create competition at every position. And obviously Ryan was the incumbent when we came in. It was going to be very hard to unseat him, but we gave our guys, Rashawn, LaJohn Howard, Cameron Sapp, and those guys every opportunity to compete with Ryan in the spring and in training camp. So what that did was not only did it make Ryan raise his level of play because he knew that the guys weren't going to just hand him the job, it prepared those guys for moments such as that. And so when Rashawn got into the game against A&T, I wasn't nervous as the head coach and play caller. He wasn't nervous as the quarterback because he had been preparing for that moment all season and went in and did a phenomenal job. Game went into overtime. And at that point, the two top teams in HBCU football going head-to-head into overtime, they got the ball first and went down to kick the field goal, and a third and long situation. And Rashawn stepped up and made a huge throw to Marcus Williams to win the game. And so just set the foundation that he went the next week and started against Morgan State and beat Morgan State on the road. And so I think that was kind of one of the things about that football team was not only did we compete, but we were deep at a lot of positions. And that was evident by what Rashawn McKay was able to do in Ryan's absence.
Let's talk about Ryan Stanley. We got to close the chapter on Ryan Stanley. Phenomenal career at FAMU, broke virtually every passing record while he was there and helped propel this team. He was obviously the leader of that team in 2019.
Oh, you're absolutely right. What can we say about Ryan? He's a kid that probably endured more criticism than anybody who's worn the orange and green in a long time, and took his fair share of lumps, before we got here. Was a part of I think a 2-9 team, a 1-10 team, and was a young guy at the time and just kept working to get better. And then when we came in, kind of gave him a breath of fresh air. Obviously our offense is very quarterback friendly. It's built around the quarterback and his decision making, and that was one of Ryan's strengths. He was a very good decision maker. And so we just put him in position to what we call drive the car. We always make the analogy that he's driving in a big body Maybach, and when you buy cars, luxury cars like that, you don't do anything to it. You don't go buy a Maybach Benz or a Lamborghini and put rims on it. You don't put a sound system in it. You just get in there and just drive it. And so with the guys we had around him, like Xavier Smith, Chad Hunter, Zende Ray, Bishop Bonnet, and the likes, you don't have to do anything but just get the ball where it needs to be. And that's one thing that Ryan did a great job of the last 2 years. And like you said, rewrote the record books here at Florida A&M, which can be dubbed quarterback U by many standards. And so for him to leave with virtually every passing record really just goes to show the caliber of player that he is. And I said it then, and I truly stand by this. I don't think Ryan Stanley's impact on FAMU football will be recognized right now. I think it'll be down the road when we finally look back and say, you know what? He had one of the best careers in college football history at this level with what he was able to do on the football field and leading a group of guys to a new era of FAMU football.
Well, great, Coach. Now, you already started. You started naming Bishop Bonnet and Xavier Smith and guys on offense. Just talk about some of the guys we have coming back looking forward. Well, so let's start with the offense.
Yeah, we're blessed and fortunate to have a loaded football team returning with a lot of experienced players. You start in the backfield. We have Bishop Bonnet, who's been, again, seems like he's been here forever. And Bishop had a very good first year when we got here. Battled some injuries, but when he was healthy, Bishop averaged almost 8 yards a carry and had some very, very explosive games. And so he's shown his game-breaking ability when he's healthy. You match him with Terrell Jennings. They're kind of a thunder and lightning type of dynamic, where Terrell's the big back, 6 foot, 235-pound running back who squats over 600 pounds, and so he's a tank. And you saw in that last game of the year when he lowers his head, he lowers it with bad intentions, so he's a guy that you don't want to tackle, what they say in the phone booth, and so you better go around those ankles and knees, because if you get up above his waist or higher, you're going to feel that tackle a lot more than he will. But again, those two guys bring a great 1-2 punch, and we have some young guys pushing them as well. The receiver group, I would venture to say, is probably the most talented receiver group in the country. When you look at Xavier Smith and what he's been able to do in the last 2 years, First year here, 52 catches, over 700 yards. And then last year just lit it up with 77 catches for almost 1,200 yards and 12 touchdowns. And so for a guy to leave to finish the season ranked in the top 5 in FCS in receptions, yards, and touchdowns just shows what type of game-breaking ability that he has. You pair him with a guy like Chad Hunter, who, when he's healthy, is just as productive. Our first year, Chad was that leading receiver, that guy that was looking like he was about to have a 1,000-yard season before the injury bug struck him. But he's back fully healthy, and you pair those two guys together, you got a very, very dangerous receiver unit. And then, not to be unthought about, is David Manigo. A guy that came in when Chad went down last year and just took his game to another level. He's a tall guy in the group, 6'3", 190 pounds, great in one-on-one situations. And with what we do offensively, it invites those one-on-one matchups with defenders, and he does a great job of high-pointing the ball, as evidenced in South Carolina State when he finished with 11 catches. And then Azende Ray is a guy who's shown for 3 or 4 years now how dynamic he can be as a running back and as a receiver, as a returner. He's probably our most versatile guy, and we have some innovative ways to get him the ball this year. So, like I said, there's no shortage of weapons. We lost Ryan Stanley, and it's going to be tough to replace him. But whoever gets the job has the fortune of being able to turn around and hand it to or throw it to some very, very dangerous weapons, and that's not even including the transfers and guys we just signed in this recent class.
All right, and we'll talk a little bit about defense, and then we'll take a break. And, defense led by Derek Mayweather and Marquise Bell. Defense is looking really solid coming back, Coach. Yeah, we're very excited. Obviously we lost probably the biggest piece to that puzzle, which is Ralph Street, our defensive coordinator. And he left us a few weeks ago and took the position job at his alma mater, Marshall. So again, hate to lose him. He's meant so much to this defense over the last few years with his temperament, with his mindset. But very excited about promoting Brandon Sharp and Ryan Smith, to both serve as co-coordinators. And so those are two guys that bring a ton of experience, a ton of knowledge to the defensive side of the ball. And talking to those guys the last couple of weeks, they have some great ideas about how we can take our defense to the next level, from the front end to the back end. So defensive line-wise, a lot of depth. One of the emphasis for us in the last 2 recruiting classes was really increase our depth on the interior defensive line. We felt that at times we were overmatched with other teams' size. So we went out and we signed Donald Hall, 6'3", 315 pounds. We went out and signed Savion Williams in this recruiting class, 6'4", 290. Christoph Troop, Tamari Brown from McCullough, Gentle Hunt down in Gainesville, Malcolm Mosher from Pensacola, and Kamari Stevens from Jacksonville. So when you look at the interior front now, it's loaded with guys, 290 and up. And so we feel like we'll have a stout defensive line now. And any great defense, it starts up front. It takes a lot of pressure off the back end. So you have those guys there. You talked about Derek Mayweather at linebacker. You pair him with Darius Fagan and Dimitri Powell, some of those guys. We feel like we have a very active athletic linebacker core. And then secondary-wise, we feel like we're very talented back there as well, led by Marquise Bell. What can I say about Bell? He's just a phenomenal football player in every aspect of the word. He's a guy that has a very bright future, NFL career, if he continues to do things the right way. But when you have a 6'3", 200-pound safety that can run, that can cover, and that will knock you out, it makes for an enforcing defense. So, again, I know Coach Sharp and Coach Smith probably have a hard time sleeping at night, thinking about all the talent we have on that side of the ball, and just being able to come up with creative ways to maximize their abilities and put together a scheme that can give us a chance to have a dominant defense. All right, Coach, we're going to end this first segment. We will be back after this break. We'll start with special teams, and then we'll get into this amazing recruiting class of 2021. You're watching the Rattler Boosters Kickoff 2021 Virtual Edition.
Piggly Wiggly, food for less. Piggly Wiggly is constantly making efforts to make sure we stay stocked with all of the items you need for your family. We partner with local suppliers to make sure you have the freshest meats and vegetables to pick from every day. Visit your neighborhood Piggly Wiggly store in Quincy and on the South Side in Tallahassee. Piggly Wiggly, food for less.
Right hand, left hand, both hands, take break it down. Step to the right, step to the left. Do a spin with it. Let's do it again. Right, left, both. Break it down. You want to do it? We just gave you a whole meal, man.
At this time, up for auction is item number 4. At this time, up for auction is item number 5. At this time, up for auction is item number 6.
Hello, my name is John C. I'm a FAMU alumnus and a Rattler Booster. I'm here today to make an appeal. I can't tell you anything new about FAMU because you probably already know how great it is, what all it's done over the years, and what it means to you. Now, to me, it means that if I had not been able to get to FAMU, I don't know where I would have been. Everything that I've accomplished, FAMU has helped me to do it. My lifestyle, what little money I have, that's all because of FAMU. And I've decided that I need to give back, and I hope that today you'll decide that you want to give back too. There's something you might not know. FAMU's athletic department has been under financial strain for quite some time. Oh, it appeared that it was okay, but it wasn't. Ticket sales, they were pretty good, but the athletic program cannot exist on ticket sales alone. And even that has had a problem this past year. So we're asking you to buy your season tickets, and beyond that, decide that you're going to give something back. We need everyone to give a little bit. You have it, and I know you got it, so share it with FAMU so that someone else can make the accomplishments that you've made because of FAMU. If you're not a FAMU graduate, you know someone that is. You have a cousin or an aunt or a grandmother or somebody that's associated with FAMU. So give back so that in the future, we'll still have a FAMU. Now, I want to give a couple of challenges. My first challenge, of course, to all the FAMU golfers out there. If it were not for FAMU, you couldn't pay your fee to play golf. To all the Qs out there, be good Omega men and send some money to FAMU. And to all you pharmacists out there, give some of that Walgreens and CVS money back to FAMU. Thank you. Send it in. We need it.
Hello, everybody. My name is Kelvin Lawson. I currently serve as the Board of Trustees Chair at Florida A&M University. And I'm here this morning in lovely downtown Jacksonville to talk to you about why you should support Rattler Athletics via the FAMU Booster Club. Hey, let me tell you a little bit about what's going on at the university right now. We've just completed a major renovation to the campus with a 700-bed facility, a brand new CAS facility, a new amphitheater, and soon a new satellite cafeteria. So good things are happening at FAMU every day. Moving on to athletics, we're moving into our third consecutive year of managing athletics with a balanced budget, and that's been difficult. We've managed that via cuts, we've managed it via reductions in staff and other things that are not exactly the way you want to build a program. So where we need your support today is we need you to come back and work with us and invest in this program. We can't build a program by cutting, but we can build a program by investing. So for those of you that are already contributing, thank you. For those of you that are considering, please consider hard. For those of you that are on the bubble, again, we need your support. FAMU athletics is clearly moving in the right direction, whether it be football, whether it be basketball, whether it be track and field, whether it be swimming, tennis, or golf. All of these sports are on their way. We want our kids to enjoy the same privileges and luxuries as any other state university. We're excited about where we are, but we think we can go even further, and we really need your support. So again, if you've not considered being a FAMU booster, if you've not considered supporting the athletic program, what better time to join? We are moving into the SWAC. We're leaving the MEAC, moving to the SWAC. It's going to create some outstanding matchups between some long-time rivals such as Southern, Alabama A&M, Alabama State. And I know you want to be there, and I know you want to be a part of it. So join us and support Rattler Boosters.
Hey, Rattler fans. This is Jamie Shoup with FAMU Baseball. Just wanted to congratulate the Rattler Boosters on their kickoff for this year's campaign to raise money. I was sitting there thinking about how important the boosters are to any organization, and I kind of had to put it in a athletic realm. So I mean, it's the quarterback of the football team, and Willie will tell you how important that is. It's the point guard or the big guy down low on basketball. Coach McCullum can certainly relate to that. For baseball, I tell my pitchers, I get them together all the time, and I say, guys, we are only going to go as far as you guys take us. Pitching is that important to the game of baseball. The boosters, the Rattler Boosters, are that important to the success we have as coaches and also as student athletes and players. The money you raise goes to things that we don't have in our budget usually to help with the academic support, keeping those guys eligible, but more importantly, helping them earn a degree. The supplements they get for their workouts. Just everybody wants to look good, the extra gear that we're able to get them. So you guys are vital. We certainly appreciate all you do for helping our athletic programs, and we wish you luck in this campaign. Go Rattlers.
Greetings, Rattler Nation. I'm happy to be here to support our Rattler Boosters. As an important direct support organization, they fit into this cog that makes Florida A&M University go. And their mission is to support Florida A&M University athletics. As a former baseball player, I certainly understand the importance of having support from our direct support organization. It's what makes this go. I will encourage everybody to continue to support the university and support our boosters. They're on the front line working very, very hard to ensure our student athletes have what they need to be successful on the field as well as in the classroom. So today, I ask your full support of the Rattler Boosters. Let's continue to be great as we lead the country and lead the world. Go Rattlers.
Hello, Rattler family and friends. I'm Carmen Cummings, the Assistant Vice President of University Engagement and Alumni Affairs at the Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University. We are so elated to be able to celebrate the Rattler Boosters, just to celebrate, period, as we have all been enduring and weathering through this pandemic. We are proud to applaud your many strides, your accomplishments, and financial backing of Rattler athletic programs across the board. So, leave no doubt, the best is yet to come. Keep striking strong.
When you think of FAMU softball, two words come to mind: Veronica Wiggins, the first HBCU softball coach to record 700 wins, retired during the 2020 season. Here's a clip with her and ESPN commentator Tiffany Green.
Eddie Robinson, Jake Gaither, John Merritt, those are some of the black college football coaching legends that immediately come to mind. But if you shift your focus to a different field of play, there's another name that needs to be added to the list of coaching greats, and her name is Veronica Wiggins. Head coach of the Florida A&M softball team since 1992, Wiggins has set the standard for excellence. Of the 26 Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference softball championships, she's won half of them. That alone could justify her greatness, but she continues to prove why she deserves to be in a league of her own. In 2017, the Lady Rattlers, playing in the Puerto Rico Collegiate Softball Classic, handed Wiggins a milestone victory never crossed before by an HBCU coach. Win number 700. But in addition to her on-the-field success, she continues to help cultivate the sport off the diamond through the NCAA selection and rules committees and several advisory boards. Thinking of your time here at FAMU, what's a fond memory that you have of your time as the FAMU softball coach?
Too many. It's really too many, because you got to realize I've seen so many graduations. I've seen so many young ladies leave to become women and have a good character and poise. It's just too many.
Yeah. When one stands out to you, though, do you pick the number of championships that you've won, or the Player of the Years and Hall of Famer and Amber Alford, the longevity that you've had here? There has to be one that maybe is a little bit sweeter.
Be honest with you, it's seeing them graduate every time, and I had made it a point to go to as many graduations as I could. I made it a point. I always buy everybody the same senior gift, and it is a plaque that goes on, a plate that goes on their desk when they become professional, and it says Miss and whatever their name is, because when they first come to me, they're like babies. So I always give them that, letting them know they've gotten a handle on their name.
I mean, a time's going to come for everybody. They're going to have to put their cleats, their turf, their coaching board up, and I think when you get to that point where you're not able to get out there anymore and coach it up, you want to know that you've given your all, and she has. She's just been so incredibly wonderful for the sport, but for the people in the game. And I think that anyone that gets into coaching that's been in it for that long, it's about the people. And with Coach Wiggins, it's about the people. She brings so much joy to just loving up kids and watching their growth. And so I'm really proud of her for that, because I think at a time when I'm done coaching, I want to do everything that she's done, and just filling the hearts and souls of all our players, and that's been pretty awesome.
You know, it's almost unrealistic what she's been able to do here in her time, and it goes back to the commitment that she's made to this institution, and not just the institution, but the true genuine ability and privilege that she's had to coach these young women, and the product that she's produced in her tenure. We're talking about not only individuals with great athletic prowess, but also educationally and professionally. The amount of doctors and lawyers that she's been able to produce while winning championships. That's what it's all about. And you know, Coach, she's understood it from day one, why we're really here and what we truly do as a profession. And she's done it with class and grace every step of the way.
The relationships, we'll stick on that and sit there, because there is a specific type of relationship that you happen to have a knack for recruiting. Sisters, siblings, but a pair of sisters. You've had about beyond 24 pairs of sisters. What is it?
Trust. Parents, I very rarely recruit players. I recruit parents. Parents want to know that their kids are going to be okay. And that's what I give them, till that they're willing to bring another one, and another one, and another one. So it's just trust.
Hey, Rattler Nation, this is Sika Rose Green, a proud FAMU alum and member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Initiated where? Beta Alpha on the highest of 7 hills. Listen, you know I'm a big supporter of FAMU, and it is vitally important, especially during these times, to support our school. And one of the best ways you can do that is by joining the FAMU Rattler Booster Club. Boosters is here to help support athletics in any way, shape, form, and fashion possible, and they can only do it with the financial support of any and everyone out there who believes in FAMU, believes in Rattler Nation, and wants to see us have and be the best. So I encourage you right now, log on to the website, join the Booster Club, and when the country opens back up, we can't wait to see you in Tallahassee, Florida. Thank you, Rattlers, and remember, always strike, strike, and strike again.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to all of my Rattler friends. It's an exciting day. It's an exciting day here in T-Town, Tallahassee, where we went to school there on the highest of 7 hills. I am excited. I'm Melinda Jackson James, and it's good to be here to say hello to all my Rattler friends, and especially my Soras, my sisters of the Zeta Phi Beta sorority, who graduated with me from Florida A&M University. It has been my special honor to serve as a member of the Boosters Association here at FAMU since I've been retired especially, I've enjoyed meeting with them. And so I come today appealing to my Zeta Sorors who graduated from FAMU to join us as we try to support our athletic programs at FAMU. We know that this is a different year. This pandemic has taken us all by surprise, and we're into all kinds of creative ways to raise money for our wonderful, wonderful, awesome university and to help our students who are there. So I ask you to join me in supporting the Rattler Boosters. Give any donation that you can, and I think that at the end of this presentation, at some point this afternoon, you will see some ways that you can do that. Again, come on, my Zeta Sorors, let's strike and strike and strike again.
No, y'all need to go and find y'all some rattlers. Hold on. He's looking for Bethune-Cookman and rattlers that have known each other for a long time. See, that's what you be my neighbor here. This is my neighbor, this is my roommate. That's up. Yeah, we've been around a long time. I knew you before you knew him. Yes, sir. Yeah. My bad. So this is 52 years. 52 years. That's what I'm talking about.
So do you guys get together for Thanksgiving by any chance?
Well, y'all do what we live. Not now. No, sir. I'm not going to his house for Thanksgiving no more. We had crystals at his house. That didn't work. That was only for the Rattlers. We had steak for the Wildcats.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am Marvin Joseph, and I'm with, if you do not know her name, please get on the computer right now and Google her name, Miss Natalie White, who played for the Rattlers basketball team from 91 to 95. So you've been here over the years to see the growth of FAMU. What do you see different now with the Classic than it was back then?
I think it's a lot more community involvement, a lot more alumni coming back, as such as myself, some of my teammates who we never really got a chance to enjoy it when we were playing, but over the years we've been able to come back and just see a lot of people who we hadn't seen in years.
Now, how long have you been here in Orlando? From the weekend or from the week? Like, how long have you been here?
I've been here since Thursday.
Gotten in any activities so far?
Went out with a couple alumni functions. Great friends of mine tailgating here, so we're just pretty much just laid back.
That's good, that's good.
I'm Mike Rice, head men's golf coach here at FAMU. First of all, we'd like to thank all the boosters for their support of our great program. As you all know, we have 4 of the top 5 college-ranked, black college-ranked players in the country. Just recently had our #1 player participate in Torrey Pines with the Advocates Tour, where he well represented us and the university, and obviously you guys as well. And again, we really thank you. Without you, the boosters, we couldn't do what we do. We're really, really excited about the season. We'll kick off probably about two weeks. We'll be hitting the road for Savannah, and really looking forward to the season. We have a great group of guys, and again, thank you again for all your support. Please keep an eye out for FAMU Golf, as we're expecting big things. Man, I've been saying it for 2 years, but we're still young. We have nobody graduating this year. And we keep giving ourselves a chance. And that's what we're looking for. We keep giving ourselves a chance. Eventually we're gonna come through.
Just out here at Southwood, our home course, just trying to work on some things just to get ready for the PGA.
We're preparing day in and day out to get better in some aspect of the game, if it's from the weight room to the golf course, to even the mental part of the game. And so I definitely look forward to showing up down in Port St. Lucie and showing out.
My name is Kevin Wilson. I'm the Associate Athletic Director for External Affairs here at FAMU. And so very proud to sit here and spend some time and encourage all of our Rattler Boosters. I want to begin by saying thank you for all of your continued support. There are a number of projects that we've accomplished over the last few years that we could not have done without your support. And so I just wanted to spend some time to talk about our season tickets a little bit. This year we're very excited to offer some unique benefits, whether you're an Investing in Champions or not an Investing in Champions member. And so we encourage you to purchase your season tickets, our Investing in Champions package. If you do have a credit from 2020, you don't have to worry about anything. You essentially just go into am.ticketmaster.com/FAMU and make sure that your credit is there and that it's available for use. However, if you are going to renew, you did say you didn't renew it during the pandemic, or your circumstances didn't allow, there will be a price increase across the board for all Investing in Champions packets. However, if you pay special attention, there will also be some added benefits as well in terms of parking in Bragg Stadium and ticket allotments as it relates to the Classic, home games, and the OBC as well. And so I definitely strongly encourage you to do so. And one unique wrinkle we have this year for our non-Investing in Champions season ticket holders is you automatically get a parking pass with the purchase of your season tickets. And that will be capped at one person per account. Again, that will only be capped at one person per account, and that will be restricted to the parking garage. And so we're excited. We want our Rattlers in the stadium. We want you loud. We want you supportive. Thank you for your continued support, Rattler Boosters, and please, I encourage you to keep striking from the top.
We salute our fallen Rattlers. William A. Barber, Jerome D. Shavers, Willie Neal Dent Jr., Amos D. Hill, Kenneth L. Perry, Andre Moses White, Robert Wilson, William Billy Wilson III. And a special salute to a former player who also went on to be athletic director, Ken Rowley.
Well, some of the things that he instilled in me about being honest, integrity, when you finish your career and you start your life work, going back into your community and be the best citizen you can be. He was concerned about you as a fatherly figure. One perfect example, I never liked spring practice. Matter of fact, the only time I got hurt was in spring. So during that particular time, we had the set up here at FAMU, and everybody was on this set. And I had told Coach Gates I got to go and do a assignment for my class. I said, okay, baby, because he was real strong on academic. Go ahead on. And he came by in this car, Lincoln, and we were all sitting up on the hill watching the girls. And lo and behold, I saw everybody scattering. I wasn't even paying any attention. And that was Coach Gates. He comes up there and get his mail out of the mailbox. And I scattered too. I didn't know he saw me. The next day I go back into class, and he come and get me out of class, and he said, baby, sit down. I was his quarterback. He said, you're supposed to be the leader of my football team. You're one of my captains, and you lied to me, baby. He said, that's the most dishonest thing you can ever do. He said, how can I trust you if you do what you're doing now? If you're going to lead my football team, and I don't have any confidence on you. And I thought about it for a while, and boy, I felt like a little mouse. I mean, that stuck with me to this day, and I tell that story all the time about honesty. and about leadership. If you're going to lead, you got to lead in a positive way, because it makes a big difference in who follows you and who you are following. So that was an example for me, and that stuck with me the rest of my life. But he always felt that he wanted athletes that were agile, hostile, and mobile. And it carries it throughout the day. And you see, guys, we all talk about it. There's a lot of stories out there, but that one in my mind sticks more than anything.
Piggly Wiggly, food for less. We partner with local suppliers to make sure you have the freshest meats and vegetables to pick from every day. Piggly Wiggly follows strict guidelines to make sure our stores are safe and sanitary for you to shop. Visit your neighborhood Piggly Wiggly store in Quincy and on the South Side in Tallahassee. Piggly Wiggly, food for less.
I present to you the inventors of the Florida Classic. Orlando, the moment is here, and the feeling is right, and the time is now. From the highest of 7 hills, the capital of Florida, the most imitated band in the world, the incomparable, magnificent, fabulous, the #1 band in the world. The moment you've been waiting for, your wait is now over.
It's time for the 100 to get nasty. 100, take it down. Take it up and hold it.
At this time, up for auction is item number 7. At this time, up for auction is item number 8. At this time, up for auction is item number 9.
And we're back with the head coach, Willie Shotgun Simmons. And before we go into this year's class, we got to talk about special teams. You have one of the most dynamic special teams player in the entire country, and have had the luxury of having him since you've been here. I'm a little partial being a specialist myself, but let's start with Chris Fadul and talk about the specialists.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I know you get excited talking about special teams, being a former specialist yourself. But again, Chris Fadul, I mean, what can you say about the guy? You know, just phenomenal talent, best punter in the country at any level, in my opinion. Can kick it as far as he needs to, but also can place the ball where he needs to. And that's very rare to have a guy that has elite leg strength, but also elite accuracy, you know. And so I kind of equate it to a guy like Pat Mahomes, you know, and who's going to play in the Super Bowl tomorrow. You know, Pat's a guy who has elite arm talent, but is also very accurate, and the ball goes where it's supposed to go. That's how Fadul is with his leg. And so for a guy to average almost 50 yards per punt, but half those punts land inside the 20 or 10-yard line, just shows how strong of a weapon he is. And we're excited to have him back for another year. And, you know, again, you look at a guy like Christian Mastramico. That's an unsung hero. You know, again, people see us on offense and they understand, you know, people that watch film on us, when I talk to other offensive coaches who study our film, the thing that impressed them the most about Ryan was how he was able to operate sometimes when the snaps weren't perfect. You know, when you're in a read option offense, obviously you want to make sure that you got great snaps to be able to look at the defense. Well, Mastramico snaps all of our extra points and field goals. And so as you know, it being a specialist, any little deviation from where that ball is supposed to be can throw the kicker off. Absolutely. You know, and so for Mastramico to be back for another year as a senior, again, gives us a very, very strong special teams unit. And, you know, we lost Yahia Ali, you know, who was a great kicker for us, but I tell you, Julius Duarte has been really, really impressive with practices and some of the things that we've seen. And then Austin Kermay, you know, is a guy that we brought in last year's signing class. And in Austin, you know, he's put up a 64-yard field goal that he kicked out there on the field on social media the other week. So very strong leg, you know. So we feel very good about our specialists. And then when you throw guys like Azende Ray, Bishop Bonnet, Xavier Smith in the return game, it makes you a well-rounded special teams unit. So again, I'm a full believer that you got to be great in all three phases: offense, defense, and special teams. And that's why we put so much emphasis into it. So very excited about the guys that we have returning, and we think that'll be an X factor for us as we enter into the SWAC.
All right, and looking forward to entering the SWAC. You've got about 20 guys on my list, 20 new faces that'll be wearing the orange and green for the first time this season. Starting with Stephon Atkinson.
Yeah.
Out of Mineola, Florida, transfer from Western Kentucky.
Yeah, so Stephon's a guy that spent 2 years at Western Kentucky, took a redshirt year, and so he'll come to us as a redshirt sophomore, I believe. But, you know, Stephon's a very, very athletic young man. You know, he plays what we used to call the wolf position, which is kind of a hybrid defensive end, outside linebacker. But being that we got Coach Sharp and Coach Smitty now taking over the defense, we're going to rename that position and call it the Fang position. You know, we're going to relay it more to who we are as FAMU. And so, but he'll play that hybrid position where he can rush the passer as a defensive end, but also drop into space in the coverage as a linebacker type. So very versatile, 6'3", 235 pounds, very athletic, can run. And we're very, very excited to have Stephon here. And, you know, he loves FAMU. He's only been here a short time, but you can tell right now that he feels like he made a great decision to come here from Western Kentucky, and we share those same sentiments.
All right. We've also got Kendall Butler, a defensive back from Ocoee, Florida, transfer from Mercer.
Yeah, Kendall Bowler's a guy, he and his brother both transferred here from Mercer. They're legacy kids. You know, both parents went to Florida A&M, and Kendall was actually our first commit in the 2018 signing class. And, you know, at the last minute, decided to go to Mercer because his older brother, BJ, was up there. You know, so he went to Mercer. was there for a year and realized that that the grass is a little bit greener down here in Tallahassee. So decided to come home, and we're very excited about Kendall. We think he has big time playmaking ability. He's a 6-foot corner, can run, can jump. He was our most productive camper when he came to our elite prospect camp 2 summers ago, and that's why we offered him a scholarship. And he was actually one of our first commit from that year. So very excited about Kendall. We think he's going to definitely change our defense because he's a guy that can play man-to-man defense very well. And whenever you have that type of cornerback, it kind of gives you some flexibility on defense to not be afraid to play man coverage.
All right, and we're going to be seeing double with the twins, Kamari and Tamari out of Wakulla High School.
Yeah, the twins, man. You know, Tamari and Kamari, Tallahassee guys, they're legacy kids as well. You know, their granddad played here. I think he played for Coach Gaither, you know, back in the day. So they've been kids that we've known about since they were freshmen in high school. And they started out at Leon High School here in town, and then this last season transferred over to Wakulla. And so both defensive linemen. Tamari is the bigger of the two. He's 6'3", almost 300 pounds, about 290, but very, very strong guy, 400-plus pound bench presser, and he's what we call a powder keg. You know, he's just a big, strong, just space eater, you know, that's going to be hard to move and really going to make it difficult to run the football. And then his brother Kamari is more of a defensive end. You know, he's 6'2", about 255, so not as big as his brother, but again, very active, very athletic, can run for a guy his size. And when you watch his film, he's very disruptive. And so, again, trying to increase our depth and size on the defensive line, the twins would definitely add to that and give us some quality football players on that side of the ball.
All right, linebacker Johnny Chaney out of Apopka, Florida, Wakiva High School.
Yeah, Johnny, man. Johnny's an active linebacker. You know, Johnny's a guy that kind of a late bloomer. Didn't get a lot of attention. When you watch his film, it's hard to understand why. He's a very, very productive linebacker. Wakiva's a very good football team. You know, they've gone to the semifinals, I think, 2 years in a row, and he led them in tackles. You know, so whenever you lead a team in tackles, that means you're very, very productive. And so he's a long, rangy, athletic guy. And we got big plans for Johnny, thinking that he can come in and push some of those other guys for some immediate playing time.
All right, and also on the defensive side, defensive end DeAndre Clark, 6'4", freshman out of Lakeland High School.
Yeah, DeAndre is a kid that I've known for a very long time. His dad, DeAndre Clark Sr., actually was one of our coaches when I was in high school. And, you know, DeAndre played at Florida State, played defensive line at Florida State, and his mother's a professor, a college professor. So he took after his dad with his football prowess, took after his mom with his intellect, because DeAndre is a 4.0 student, over 4.0 student, dual enrolled. So he'll come into FAMU basically as a junior. You know, he'll get his A degree before he gets here. So very, very smart guy. But we didn't sign him just because he's smart. We signed him because he's smart and he's a great football player as well. So we think DeAndre's best football is ahead of him. He's a guy that's still growing into his body. You know, his dad's 6'4", about 260. Well, was about 260. Not going to say how big DeAndre Sr. is today. But, you know, we feel like he's a guy that has a lot of growth potential. So he'll start out at defensive end, but by the time he gets to the calf and eats some fried chicken Wednesday and fried catfish Friday, he may grow himself into a defensive tackle.
All right, Anthony Davis, defensive end out of Orlando Edgewater High School.
Yeah, Anthony is a guy that we actually gray shirted from the 2019 class. And basically what gray shirt means is you sign on signing day, but with the understanding that because of scholarship limitations, you won't enroll in the fall. So you'll enroll the next the next spring. So Anthony just enrolled at FAMU this January. He was a part of last year's signing class, but he's on campus now. He's working out now. Very, very athletic young man, 6'3", about 225 pounds. Will play defensive end for us, and you watch his film, he's a guy that can get out to the quarterback. That was one of the things that we wanted to improve upon as a defense was, you know, rushing the quarterback. You know, we felt on third downs we didn't get enough sacks, and so we wanted to bring some pass rushers in here. We think Anthony's a guy that can do that.
All right, out of Miami Northwestern, Winston Frazier.
Yeah, big Winston. You know, Winston's a guy, our highest rated high school recruit in this class. You know, Winston's a 3-star, 4-star, depending on which publication you look at. But Winston's a guy who's committed, you know, to Iowa State pretty much the entire time. You know, we all know Iowa State's a Big 12 school, and you know, Coach Billy Rowe, obviously, he's a legend down there in Miami. kind of made his hay at Miami Northwestern. And so, you know, once Coach Rose sunk his teeth into him, it was over. You know, he felt that FAMU was a better place for him. Winston's 6'3", he's 185 pounds. You know, actually played his senior year at Palm Beach Lakes, but then transferred back to Northwestern to run track. You know, so obviously if you're running track at Northwestern on their 4x1 team, that shows you can run. You know, so Winston's a guy that has a lot of speed to be a 6'3" guy, and we think his ceiling is unbelievable. You know, we think he's really a guy that has a bright future in football, definitely has the skill set to play at the next level. He just has to come in with the mindset to work, get better every single day, and I think the sky's the limit for this young man.
All right, another tight end, big target, 6'5", Kareem Grant.
Out of St. Pete, yeah, Kareem is a massive human being, 6'5", 260, you know, playing tight end in high school. And so you see a guy that big moving around the way he does, it just makes you salivate as a coach. You know, you can get very, very creative when you have a guy that can create those type of matchup problems. You know, he can block, he can run, he can catch. And so the game has really evolved. You'll see in the Super Bowl guys like Travis Kelce, guys like Darren Waller, you know, some of those tight ends in the NFL. When you have those type of bodies, it makes it very, very hard to defend because you have to make decisions about who's going to cover that guy. You know, when they put him out wide, do you cover him with the little cornerback, or do you try to cover him with the bigger body safety, a linebacker who may not run as well? So when you have those big, long, athletic guys that can run and catch, it really creates some mismatches, and that's why we're excited about Kareem.
All right, out of Killian High School, Jermaine Hawkins, wide receiver.
Jermaine's another dynamic playmaker from down in Miami. Coach Barraza actually played at Killian, and so he once he saw Jermaine on film, fell in love with him. You know, he's been tracking this guy for the last couple of years now. Did a phenomenal job recruiting Jermaine. You know, a lot of guys tried to come in on Jermaine late, but once he decided that FAMU was where he needed to be, he shut the doors out. You know, and so just a guy we're very, very excited about. 6'2", 175-pound receiver, very dynamic. You know, good speed, good agility, great hands, ball skills. And so we think, even though we're loaded at the receiver position already, we think Jermaine can come in and learn from guys like Chad and Xavier on just how to work, how to be a college, big-time college football player. And if he takes that same mindset when they graduate and move on, he can definitely be a guy that steps into one of those premier roles because he definitely has the skill set to do so.
Lucius Lattimore out of Duval, linebacker.
Oh, Lucius, you know, one thing that we committed ourselves to doing when we took the job 3 years ago was recruiting winners. You know, we said, what's the quickest way to build a winning college program? Recruit high school guys that come from winning high school programs. And Lucius comes from Trinity Catholic High School in Jacksonville, and they just won the state championship, you know, a few weeks ago. And so he's no stranger to winning. He's no stranger to hard work, teamwork, commitment, all the things that it takes to be a great high school program. So we're excited about him bringing some of those characteristics here to the Heights of Seven Hills. But not the tallest guy, you know, listed at 5'10", 205, but he can run, he'll strike you, and he's an aggressive football player. You know, so our defense is built on speed. Obviously, we've gotten some bigger guys up front, but we're still going to always be a fast defense. And he's a guy that can fit right in with his ability to run sideline to sideline with all the spread offenses that we'll see going into the SWAC. We think he'll be an asset because we don't have to take him off the field when they try to match him up against running backs and tight ends and things of that nature.
Our country has much healing to do. Please enjoy this selection by national recording artist Star Swain.
The hurt, the pain, the kill, the hate that's causing division, broken dreams and hearts, it's tearing us apart. Lives being lost, can someone tell me why? Oh, why did our hopes die? deception, frustration, confusion. It seems like we are losing. It's the worst, but we're the best when we come together. United we stand, together we can win as one. Yes, we can overcome. Stand strong, let fear be gone. We can be together as one. Love's the way we all overcome. No hate or pain, because we can live together as one. Love's the way we all overcome. We overcome. No matter who you are or where you come from, whether from the left or right, whether woman, man, child, brown, black, or white, love is the only way for us to turn the wrong to right. And together we will rise. Stand strong, let fear be gone. We can be together as one. Love's the way we all overcome. No hate or pain, because we can live together as one. Love's the way we all overcome. Stand strong, yeah, as one. Love's the way we all overcome. No hate or pain, love's the way we all overcome. Together as one. Love's the way we overcome. No hate, no pain. We will live together. Love is the way we all love is the way. No more hate, no more pain. Love's the way we all overcome. We can be together as one.
Michael Marshall, defensive line from Miami Northwestern.
So Michael's a guy that had all of us celebrating late Wednesday night. You know, he was the last signee. Wasn't sure we were going to get him. You know, he's another big 3-star recruit from down there at Miami Northwestern, and you know, just went back and forth for a very long time recruiting Michael. And we felt he was kind of the crown jewel of the class. Winston's the highest rated guy, but Michael's the guy that we were the most excited about, because whenever you can get a guy that's 6'5", 280 pounds, playing defensive tackle, being able to move the way he moves, make plays the way that he makes plays, it just makes you very special. So again, we firmly believe that the offense and the defensive lines will be basically the backbone of our football team. And so we really put an emphasis on those two positions, and Michael's the crown jewel of this class, being the biggest and most athletic of the bunch.
Jabari Martin, offensive lineman out of Jasper, Florida, Hamilton County High.
Well, I just said Mike's the biggest. I was wrong. Jabari's the biggest. So Jabari's.
Yeah, I was just looking at, when you were talking, I was like, this other dude look a little bigger than him.
Yeah. Jabari's probably 6'5", 6'6", 315 pounds. Just long, athletic guy. When you see him on film, you're really amazed at how well he moves as a big guy. Basketball player, so he's a double guy for Hamilton County High School, playing the center position at 6'6", 315. Very, very quick feet. That's really what excited us about Jabari. Really didn't play a lot coming up into this year, so we didn't have a lot of film to evaluate. But what impressed us when we pulled up his basketball highlights. So when you see a guy that big up and down the court, constantly up and down the court, not getting tired, not bending over, making free throws, all those things, we were very excited. So for everyone out there who's in that mindset now that you just need to play one sport, Jabari Martin's a perfect example of how actually the sport that he's not coming here to play really got him a scholarship, because watching him play basketball really reaffirmed a lot of the things that we saw and really answered a lot of the questions that we had about him. Could he run? Could he change directions? What type of agility he had. We were able to see that on the basketball court. So we think Jabari's got a chance to be a special guy with his size and athleticism, and we think his best football is ahead of him.
All right, we got a quarterback here out of Orlando, Florida, Junior Maratovic.
Junior Maratovic, yeah.
Maratovic, okay.
Yeah, Junior's a guy that kind of unique story about Junior. He didn't start out at Wekiva. I can't remember the high school he attended his junior year, but at the time, Junior was 5'11", probably 170, 175, and transferred to Wekiva, and all of a sudden, he's 6'3", 210. And so just shot up out of nowhere, grew 4 inches, gained about 45 pounds, and when you see him throw the football, it's very, very impressive. Coach Black and I obviously both played the quarterback position, so we're very, very hard on quarterbacks, evaluating quarterbacks, and we look for certain things. And he was really the only guy on film that we saw at the high school level that checked all the boxes. You could tell he was a smart guy. You can tell he was very accurate, has enough arm talent, and had a very, very good pocket presence, which is very rare with high school quarterbacks. A lot of guys don't have the biggest offensive lines at high school, so they have what we call happy feet, kind of moving all around the pocket. But Junior would sit in the pocket, slide, keep his eyes downfield, and throw accurate passes. And so we think he has a great, great future here at FAMU. And crazy as not, his high school teammates call him Sunshine, same as we called Ryan for the last 4 years. So I guess we're losing one Sunshine, we're bringing another one in, but we feel very good about Junior. We think he's going to be a special player for us.
All right, Carl Nesmith, defensive end out of Baldwin High School, Jacksonville.
Right, Carl's another one that's going to start out playing that fang position for us. So he's another hybrid defensive end, outside linebacker. Carl's 6'3", about 215. So he's a guy that will project to be a player. Not sure if he'll be able to walk in day one, because again, when you're playing the defensive line, you got to have some size and some strength. And right now, he's still kind of growing into his body. But we saw a good enough skill set. We saw enough upside with him, and felt he had enough growth potential to one day be a 250, 260-pound guy if he comes in and lives in the weight room, takes advantage of the nutrition we have at FAMU. We think once he puts that muscle mass on, that he'll be a terror. And so he's more of a project than maybe a guy that we signed that can come in and play right away. But hey, sometimes those guys surprise you and they're on the field day one. So, but we're very excited about Carl out of Jacksonville area, and we've had some really good success in that area, and we think Carl will be the next in a long line of 904 boys here.
All right, Andre Powell, safety out of Naples High School.
So Andre's a guy from Southwest Florida, which we don't do. We haven't done a lot of recruiting in the southwestern part of the state, but again, just a very, very smart young man, very good grades, 3.9 GPA. I think he has like a 25 or 26 ACT, and so both college-educated parents, very well-spoken young man. But again, when you see him on the football field, all that goes out the window. He's an aggressive guy. Very versatile guy. We're excited about Andre because we think he can play from corner to safety to nickelback. He can play all over the secondary, and that versatility makes him very valuable. So hardworking young man, another winning program. Naples lost in the semifinals this year to Miami Central, and so we think he can come in and bring another element as far as leadership, as far as accountability that this team can benefit from.
All right, Jeremiah Pruitt.
Jeremiah's another transfer. He's currently on campus, came to us from Colorado State, enrolled in school in January. 6'5", 225-pound guy, and we think Jeremiah is another one that creates those mismatch problems. Was primarily a wide receiver in high school in Colorado State, but we have some ideas of how to move Jeremiah around to maybe create some of those mismatches. But again, just very, very impressed with what he's been able to do since he's been here. We've been able to watch him in the weight room, been able to watch him on the field running routes, and we feel like we hit a home run with Jeremiah. Great young man. Again, happy to be here. Excited about being here, and of course he's from FAMU North, up in that Atlanta area. So a lot of Rattlers were able to put their arms around him and convince him that being on the Heights of Seven Hills was the place to be, because he did have a lot of suitors, and felt good about being here, and we think he's going to be a major weapon for us.
All right, offensive lineman Jordan White out of Gaston County High School.
Well, what can I say? He's from the motherland. So, again, Jordan's a guy I've known since he was a baby. Watched him grow up. Went to school with his mom, and again, but if none of those things existed, I'd still sign Jordan White and be very excited about him. He's 6'3", 290 pounds. Can play center, can play guard, can play tackle. So whenever you have a guy that's that versatile, he definitely brings value. And so, Jordan just played an All-Star game a couple of weeks ago and won MVP. And very rarely does an offensive lineman win MVP of an All-Star game. So that goes to show you what type of talent and ability he has to be able to come in and help us. So we have a senior-led offensive line at this point, and so he doesn't have to come in right away and play, but we do feel that when the time comes for Jordan White to take the field, he's going to bring a lot of tenacity, a lot of energy, and a lot of just overall knowledge of the game, being able to play multiple positions. So very excited about Jordan, and we think he has a bright future here on the Hill.
All right, another offensive lineman, transfer from Florida State, Jay Williams.
Yeah, Big J. Big J, 6'6", 330 pounds, originally from California, and came to Florida State 2 years ago. And obviously, they've kind of had a mass exodus of players over there, and he didn't want to go far from home. Tallahassee's his home now. He has an apartment here, so when he reached out to us, I said, why should I leave and go somewhere else where I already have a place right here, and there's another great program right across the street. And so, Jay's been a guy that stuck with us the whole time. He's a grad student and already got his undergraduate degree from Florida State. So he's currently in grad school. He's currently here at FAMU working out, conditioning with the team. And with the fact that we lost all three of our tackles from the 2019 team, and Calvin Ashley, Tariq Akbar, and Andre Regis, we feel like Jay Williams will be a guy that can come in and maybe man one of those tackle positions. A guy with some leadership and some experience, but has all the physical tools to be a great football player.
And last but not least, Savion Williams, defensive lineman.
Well, Savion's obviously the gem of the class, 4-star recruit, #1 rated junior college player in the nation, defensive tackle in the nation when he came out. Started his career at the University of Tennessee, and obviously played in the SEC, which is the highest level of college football. They've kind of had a mass exodus as well at UT. And Jay's one of those guys, I think, with everything that's going on this past summer, with the social unrest, Savion wanted to come home. He wanted to come be around his people, and if you're looking for an HBCU, there's not a better one to go to. And so Savion, obviously, we had some connections, some coaches that coached on his staff previously. I know personally, Coach Smith knows personally. They reached out to us, told us that he was in the transfer portal. We reached out, got his mom on the phone, let the whole staff, woo them and wow them for a couple of hours, and they were in their car driving from Baltimore the next day. So he's gotten here. He's on campus now as well. Works extremely hard. Came in as a leader, trying to lead the defensive line group. And so we feel really, really good about the 4 transfers that we brought, 5 transfers that we brought to campus so far. And then you match them with the freshmen that we signed in this recruiting class that'll be coming to us this summer. We feel like we're as deep as we've ever been. We feel like we have more talent than we've ever had. And we feel like the sky's the limit for this football team.
Wow, you heard it. All of the personnel about the FAMU Rattler football team as we look forward to this 2021 season. We'll kick things off in Miami, Orange Blossom Classic, shotgun against primetime. Boy, I'll tell you, the excitement about that is going. Make sure you get your tickets. Don't hear about these guys. Get your tickets, get your season tickets, donate to the Rattler Athletic Fund, and obviously join the Rattler Boosters. Coach, thank you for joining us. And we'll be right back for the Rattler Booster 2021 Kickoff Virtual Edition.
ain't sleeping night, always thinking about you. If I had a chance to start all over, I would be wishing today on a 40 clover. Leaving would be the last thing on my mind. I could turn back to heaven. Oh, baby. Oh, darling. Can't hold out much longer. See, the pain's getting deep. Oh, the hurt is getting stronger. If I had just one more try, I would be yours alone until the day I die. We would have a love so divine. If I could turn back the hands, oh baby, oh, I love you, girl. I need you. So good to me, baby, and I just realized without you I can't go on. 'Cause you're the other half that makes my life complete. If I had one more try, we'd have a love so sweet. Leaving would be the last thing on my mind. I could turn back the hands. Oh, baby, I love you. Please, please, let me come back home. Oh, baby, girl, I need you. Please, please.
I met Althea Gibson at a very early age. When I was a little kid at the playground on Lincoln Park on Macomb Street in Tallahassee, Florida. Well, she was a playground teacher, and we, after school, we all went to the playground, and it was the responsibility of the playground teacher, obviously, to provide the equipment for us and to make sure that we were safe and secure, and that we had every opportunity to develop our athletic ability. I knew that she was an outstanding athlete. She was from Florida A&M, obviously we knew that, but it was a situation where my excitement came later on when I reflect upon my young days as a kid, and here I was at a playground with world-famous tennis player Althea Gibson.
Althea Gibson was born in Silver, South Carolina on August 25, 1927. While growing up in Harlem, Dr. Walter Johnson, who later mentored Arthur Ashe, took interest in her abilities. He opened her up to the tennis scene with specialized training and connected her to the United States Tennis Association. Gibson caught the attention of coaches at FAMU, where she attended on an athletic scholarship. For the first time in her career, she competed against white competitors. Gibson began to mature, and everyone saw the potential in her during her days at FAMU. She was a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. With racism rampant in America, after her college career, she was delegated to the American Tennis Association, an association specifically for African American athletes. In 1947, Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier in Major League Baseball, and 3 years later, Gibson would do the same as the first African American player in the National Tennis Championship. She was also the first African American invited to play Wimbledon. From there, her career blossomed. In 1956, she won both the singles title in the French Open and the U.S. Open. She followed that with her historic win at Wimbledon in 1957. During this amazing career, she won 56 doubles and singles titles. She won 11 major titles, including 3 straight doubles at the French Open in 1956, 57, and 58. She was the winner of the French Open in 1956, Wimbledon in 1957 and 58, and the U.S. Open in 1957 and 58.
And so it was one of those situations that the excitement, unfortunately and ironically, came later on when I began to reflect upon my life and the great times that I had. Obviously, this always comes up that, hey, our playground teacher was Althea Gibson. You know, I met Willie Gallimore. With them, I was older and I knew who he was as an outstanding football player. But obviously, during those days, tennis was not a big thing. As a matter of fact, what was really ironic is that we used to take the tennis nets down and skate on them, and that was our first skating rink. I'm sure she didn't appreciate that, but we never realized that, you know, she didn't give us a problem about it.
In 1957, Gibson was the first African American to be named as the Female Athlete of the Year by the Associated Press, earning her a cover on Sports Illustrated and Time magazine. She was given that honor again the following year. She paved the way for African American tennis players who came after her. Serena Williams was the first black woman since Althea Gibson to win the U.S. Open. Venus Williams was the first black woman since Gibson to win Wimbledon. The Williams sisters have given credit to Gibson throughout their careers for her leading the way for them to be successful. Gibson was also a traveling talent as she played tennis matches before Harlem Globetrotter basketball games, where she reportedly earned over $100,000 a year doing so. Tommy Mitchell was a member of the Harlem Globetrotters for a number of years. Gibson was a woman of many talents. In 1958, she wrote an autobiography entitled, "I Always Wanted to Be Somebody." She also released an album titled Althea Gibson Sings and appeared in a film entitled The Horse Soldiers, which featured John Wayne in 1959. The smooth, thinly framed Gibson also had her talent spread to professional modeling.
We have two of the world's greatest tennis players now reflecting upon the effect and obviously the recognition that they get as world famous tennis players. But of course, what's really outstanding is when they reflect that Althea paved the way for them. And of course, and I'm a big Venus and Serena fan. And so obviously I feel very good about it, and once again it gives me something else to talk about as I talk to my own grandchildren, which I have about 11, and then as I go about recruiting or talking about Florida A&M, it's always a great thrill when we can say that the first African American to win at Wimbledon and U.S. Open was a graduate of Florida A&M University.
Thank you for joining us for the Rattler Boosters Kickoff. Getting ready for the hill with the thrill. SWAC, get ready. The 100 is coming. Coach Shotgun Willie Simmons is coming. The Rattlers of FAMU is coming to make that orange brighter and that green tighter. Happy New Year. Hello, Rattlers. Let's say it together. FAMU. FAMU. Fam. All right.